Hi everybody, it's Catherine from In the Pink Designs. My project today is a back, I'll call it a back flat box for today, that has two different types of DSP, one for the sides and one for the front, and I really kind of like that look because when it stands, it just looks really cool, I think. It measures 4 this way by 3 1/4 by 2 at the bottom. Alrighty, and inside here will fit a bunch. 2 fun-sized Kit Kats, a Twix, and a Hershey. You might be able to fit a little bit more also. This is my host code only till the 31st of August, so I'll be having a new host code for September 1st. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the like button. Okay, so for this project we need some basic white for stamping, a piece of basic black cardstock that is 11 by 7 1/4. We need 2 pieces of the Black and White Designs DSP that is 3 by 3 3/4. And 2 pieces of the Brights, which this is Gorgeous Grape DSP, which is 1 3/4 by 3 3/4. Okay. We also need some little things. I used the Scary Silhouettes to cut out the actual image, and Scary Silhouettes also for the 3 bats. I stamped and colored and cut out the little kettle here, and I popped it up, but you don't have to. You can just leave a little bit of it cut off by the tag if you want to. And I will show you how to color that. And I use the Stylish Shapes dies for this circle, which is 1 1/4. So you could use a regular 1 1/4 circle if you want to. Okay, so let's get to the scoring. And we're going to start on the 11-inch side. Okay, and we're going to score at 1/2, 3 3/4, 5 3/4, and 9. And then at 2, I'm sorry, we're going to switch it to the 7 1/4 side, and then we're going to score at 2 and at 6. Okie dokie. All right, now I'm going to fold and burnish. How we have this is the skinniest rectangle is on the left. This is 2 inches on the bottom, and this is 1 1/4 at the top. And that's what we're going to do. Okay. All right, so we're going to start on the bottom left, and we're going to go to the first score line and cut it to the first score line, and then wedge up into the piece above it. Now we're going to go to the next score line, cut it straight to the first score line, next score line again, straight to the first score line, and then we're going to wedge each side of the square. Okay, the next score line, keep it straight to the first score line, and then wedge each side of the square. That's what the bottom looks like. Now we're going to turn it 180. And the only piece we're going to keep is this piece here, which is going to be this back flap. Alrighty, so we're going to go from the left to the first score line, cut it to the first score line, and then cut off this rectangle. Okay, we're going to leave this rectangle alone, go to the next score line, cut it to the first score line, And then we're going to count 1, 2, 3 pieces, and we're going to cut all them off. And you can use these extra pieces here to cut your bats out. Alrighty. And then we're just going to wedge it up a little bit into the skinny rectangle there. Okay. Now we just want to round the corners of our flap. Alrighty, and this is what your cardstock should look like after you've done scoring, cutting, and rounding those corners. Alright, now I'm going to get some tear and tape, and I'm going to put it on that skinny rectangle as close to the score line as you can get it. I'm going to take the backing off with my take your pick tool, roll back any extra glue that hangs off. Okay, this is the outside of our box. Flip it over to the inside, flip the side with the tape over, and then flip the other side to meet it. Now this is the back of our box. So we're going to put the sides and the back, and this is where we're going to put some more tear and tape. One has to go up against the edge, and then you can add more inside if you want to. Or you could even use liquid glue. Okay. Just make sure that it's nice and straight, and then push it down. Alrighty. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to just slightly bend the sides in with my fingers by just rubbing them in, and then take the tops and squeeze them together. Okay, remember this is your back with the flap. Okay, and that makes your box. Alright, now we need some DSP. We're going to use the 2 pieces that are 3 by 3 1/4 for the front and the back. And then these pieces here from the Brights DSP, these are black and white designs. This one is 1 3/4 by 3 3/4. And make sure you use liquid glue and just meld it to how you have it bent. All right, and I'm going to use, of course, liquid glue, and I'll put them on. Okay, and then we're going to let that dry a minute while we do some stamping. Okay, so we need our piece of basic white. I'm using this image from Best Witches and some tuxedo black ink. And just make sure that you leave enough room for you to cut out the frame. And this is again from Scary Silhouettes Ties. Okay, and then I'm going to put this, I put a little bit of the side of the cape and the cauldron out of frame. Okay, so that everything will fit nicely in there, everything else of the witch. Okay, I'm going to cut that out and I'll be right back. Okay, and that's how I cut it out. All right, now we're going to do a little bit of coloring. And of course, you can use what you have, but this is just what I'm using. I'm using the Stampin' Up Stampin' Blends. You don't have to use the same color Stampin' Blends or whatever type of product you use to color. I like the Stampin' Blends because they match everything so nicely. All right, I'm going to take light basic black, and I'm just going to fill in the hat. Okay, and I'm also going to do the cape in light basic black, just the top of it. Okay, also in light basic black, I'm going to just trace around the outer edges of the cauldron. Okay, and then I'm going to use light smoky, dark smoky slate. Yeah, dark. And I'm going to do the inside of the cape right here. And I'm just going to blend out the middle of the cauldron. Okay. All right, now I'm going to use dark Highland Heather for the dress and the hat band. Okay, and also I'm going to use light basic black for her tights. Okay. Now I'm going to use light Flirty Flamingo for her cheeks. I'll put one there and one right next to there. Okay, and I'm going to use light Petal Pink for the rest of her face, and just color over the Flirty Flamingo, and that will blend it nicely out. Soften the edges. Okay. I'm going to use light soft suede for her hair. And the logs. I'm going to add just a little bit of a little bit of lines of dark smoky slate on the logs with dark smoky slate. I already said that. Okay, for the hat buckle, I'm going to use dark Daffodil Delight. And I forgot with the light Petal Pink to do her hands. Okay. All right. Now, dark Granny Apple Green for these little bubbles here that are colorable. There's 3 of them. All right. And for the flames, we're going to use... I'm going to start with dark pumpkin pie at the base. I missed a tiny piece of the cauldron. All right, and then I'm going to use light pumpkin pie a little bit higher. And then I'm going to use dark Daffodil Delight for the top of the flames. No, dark Daffodil Delight, sorry. I will have all this written on my blog, and I do put it below also. Okay. All right, let's close the box first. We can put our goodies inside. So you can probably fit a little bit more than that. Okay, and then we're going to take some low profile 5/8 inch adhesive Velcro dots. I get them in the sewing section at Walmart or any sewing store or craft store. Okay, and I'm going to put the other one on top of it with the adhesive facing out. And then just make sure your box is straight. Put them together. Gently open it. And you can use take your pick tool to pry them apart from like this if it doesn't come apart right away. Not your closure, and I like that. No fuss, no muss, no sticking in anywhere. Right like that. Okay. Let's see. All right, now we need some dimensionals. And I'm going to put them all four corners and one in the middle. Okie doke. And I'm just going to place center it right in the middle and give it a good press. All right, now let's start with the moon. And this I cut out using the Stylish Shapes dies, but it is a 1 1/4 inch circle. And we need a dimensional up over here. And then some liquid glue on the opposite side. We're going to place that. We don't want to cover up the witch at all. Put it right there. Okay, and then we need our bats. All right. Okay, what I'm going to do, I used cut up dimensionals, but this time I think I'm just going to use glue dots because it will pop it up just a little bit. All right, so actually I'm going to do, for this one, I'm going to do 2 glue dots, one on top of the other on the back of each wing. Oops. I'm going to bend it in half. And I'm going to put a tiny bit of glue right in the middle there. Just the tiniest little bit. Alright, and I want to put that right here. Okay. Alright, and then the smaller bat right here. We can just bend that now so you don't have to worry about it. And I'm just going to put 1 glue dot on the back of each wing. Okay, and I'm going to put that lower and going the other direction. Okay, so those are the 2 bats. Now we need just the 1 more bat. We're going to put it over on this side, about right here. So I'm going to do the same thing with the 2 glue dots on top of each other. It would be good also if you had the black dimensionals, then they wouldn't show so much. I don't have them. I have to order them in my next order. Oops, right here. And a tiny bit of glue right in the middle. Ah, darn it. Okay, we're just going to put it kind of above the witch's head. There's the 3 bats. All right, now I'm going to take a little bit of black and white gingham ribbon. I'm just going to tie a little bow. All right, and then I'm just going to take some, oh, just one really, glue dot, put it right on the back of the bow, and kind of nestle it in right there on that little part of the label. Okay, and for the final touch, I'm going to get some of the Glossy Dots assortment. I'm going to use the Gorgeous Grape. And I'm going to put a big one right there. And a medium one right there. And a large one right there. Okay, and then the only thing I did forget was Wink of Stella on the bats. You could put it on the witch's hat and coat too, wanted to. But I definitely will put some on the flames. Okay, and that's it. I hope you enjoyed this. It's a good size box. I love how has the different DSP in the sides of it. Makes it interesting. If you have any questions, my email is below. If you'd like to join my team, you can contact me by email, or you can just hit the link below, which is also a join button on my website. And have a good day, and please subscribe and hit the like button, and I will see you next time. Bye.